Welcome to the Accountability Trader. It's all about accountability, consistency, and growth. Let's have a look at the market.
Good evening, traders. It is the Accountability Trader here. It is a Sunday evening looking to do our Sunday analysis. Going to be doing things a little bit more different now. I'm not going to be doing the 4 days of weekly analysis. It's very silly to say, but I'm struggling to find the time of an evening to do so. So I am going to be carrying on with the Sunday analysis every week, and I'm going to trial doing a Wednesday and a Friday, if not just a Friday, depending on how active I have been trading that week. I haven't done any trades this week. I've barely looked at the live charts this week due to work being incredibly busy, but also backtesting a new strategy that is really opening my eyes to how I need to start looking at the charts in general. Really understanding the roots of the charts, which is very rewarding. But I'm gonna go through the pairs like I normally do, just see what happened last week, what we possibly might happen this week. I'm going to be starting on the daily down to the 1 hour, and put in a few levels of support, resistance, and see where we go. So we've got the pound against the dollar. So here we've ended up stopping out a really nice level here. We've come down nice and strong, put in 3 bearish candles, and we've hit a really good doji. So this is something I'm definitely going to be looking at from tomorrow morning. So we've got this little doji down here. Get rid of that for now. So we've got this lovely level of support, tested 3 times. Let's go down a level. So here we're putting in a little bit of a 3-bar reversal. So that is sitting very nice. Our ATR's a little bit higher than normal, which is nice, but again, that's going to be really hard to tell coming in off a weekend. Go down to the 1 hour. We had the possibility of catching this at the end of the day, or is this 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on a Friday. So I personally wouldn't take a trade that late on a Friday, because yes, it might give you the perfect reason to come in. However, you don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. It's very volatile coming in straight on a Monday. To have a trade only just really starting to kick off. So at the start of the week, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this level. I can make this a hell of a lot smaller. I'm looking down here, see if I can catch some sort of level down here, whether I end up getting a reversal off of this level, whether we break up and catch another level. Let me see if I can get something drawn in here. So let's see whether we play out like that, or we play down like that. So this is what I'm looking at. This is a really good level on the daily. Let's see where it takes us. So next pair on the daily. Let's have a little look. So we've just consolidated a lot on this pair. Got a few little levels on the lower time frame that we'll have a look at, but at the moment it's just consolidated. It's not really hitting around any nice areas, however you can call where we are right now off this level. You've got a bit of a hit here. Let's get that drawn in. So you've got a test here and boom, straight back through. You've got a test around here and you've got a test there, which is very interesting. Anything further back? Test there, breakthrough there. So it's quite an interesting level to keep an eye on. Let's see what sort of trade we can get going here. Let's go down to the 4. So look, might have what pattern we got going here. Might have a back pattern extension. Boom, boom, boom. So it would have actually activated here. Let's get this drawn in. So this would have been a back pattern on the 4 hour, which I don't trade on. However, it is good to see because it can give bias to the market. So it'll be very interesting to see whether of this strong support it does actually play out. I could get a buying signal here, which would be like this. That would be a perfect buying signal for me, bar what was the support has now become our resistance. So if I can get a really good bullish candle here, I might try and get in on the 1 hour. Let me make that a hell of a lot smaller. Does not need to be that big. Right. So on the 1 hour, if we get a nice bullish candle above here, it is definitely something that I would consider coming into. I know it's a later entry for a pattern like this, but with the situation we're in, I think we can afford to get in a little bit later, because we can still get a really good level up to here if we was to just do our normal reversal strategy. So we've done that pair. Let's go on to the next one. So again, let's get rid of all these little marks. So at the moment we've got this level here, the highest of the highs for quite a while. We've burst through here. We've played it here. We're playing it here again, consolidating a little bit on the daily, which isn't very clean, but we have broken back through. If we could put some sort of, if we could come above this level maybe, because we've got a nice trend, got a trend coming up nicely up here. See if we can get a consolidation in here and see if we're going to break up. It is more of a bullish bias, obviously. Got higher highs. See what we can play out in there. So we are playing around this level quite a lot, especially on the 4 hour. Who's have we got on? ISM, Jolts. So got quite a bit of news on this week. There is a chance that we don't have non-farm this week, so Friday might be a tradable day, but that is completely, that could change. So at the moment we haven't got any patterns, a lot of consolidation. We just sat in this band. Yes, we put a good pull down here on Wednesday and we've come back up again. Would have been a lovely situation to come in the trade off of maybe this candle, but I believe that was news. Let's go back. Yeah. So that was, oh yeah, the Fed press, of course it was. Just play that back out. So at the moment, I'm not necessarily looking for any trades for tomorrow, unless we was to come up and test this level. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm waiting to come up and trade this. Make this a wee bit thicker. Okay, so I'm going to aim for this. If we come down and get a catch off of this, then I would also be very happy to come down and catch, and then obviously see if I can catch down or catch reversal. No reversal or an extension. Right, so next pair. So I'm only going to carry on going over the 5 pairs I normally trade. I'm not going to go through the yens. They're what I'm back testing at the moment, so I'm going to try and stay clear from that as much as possible, just so I can get myself a little bit more acclimatized to it, because I've never used them before. So let's have a little look. Have we got anything on the weekly at the moment? Not necessarily. We have this massive drop here, which would be quite interesting to keep a look on, because we're not too far away. Let's go down to the daily. So we've consolidated quite a lot on the daily at the moment. Literally just sat in this sort of rectangle. We've just been moving along here for quite a while. What's that? Since July. So good opportunities for consolidation patterns. It's all well and good having this line, but we are nowhere near that. We're not going to hit that for a long time. Got again the possibility of a, what have we got here? Just realised, scratch that. That is a butterfly, not a bat. That is a butterfly, not a bat. This could be a bat. Yeah, let's have a look. Not quite yet. So we haven't quite tapped that, unless, of course, we go from there. And then we have. So we've got this bat on again, on the 4 hour. So not on my trading time frame. And that is why I trade them on the 1 hour. That is a lot messier. Not something I would come into. However, if there's a good reversal opportunity, I would definitely consider coming in. Got that level as well that we might end up. So we've got the, let me change that to my normal colour. So we've got the bat pattern. I don't necessarily think this is going to play out. If I could get a test of this level, I would then possibly look for a reversal, but at the moment we're quite a way away from that. Got to think, like, that movement's an entire day, or entire 2 days, sorry. So we'll wait and see if anything plays out around this level. Let's go to the last day on my portfolio at the moment. Let me clear all that off. Actually, put that back on, clear these bits off. So we've still got this level down here. Again, on the daily, just consolidating at the moment. Have been since May. Drop to the 4. Put a bit of a reversal from this level. Again, we're a little bit in no man's land. Not something I can trade at the moment. Be interesting if it comes down to test this resistance. see if I can get some sort of trade around here. But again, it's all just a little messy. No patterns, no reversals, absolutely nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing at the moment. Right, so that is my 5 trading charts. Keep an eye on these 2 tomorrow. There's a lot of time left in this pair. Again, exactly the same with this pair, coming up to this level, and then absolutely nothing on here. So I'll hopefully come back on Wednesday, depending how my week goes, trading wise as well as work wise. If not, I'll definitely be doing a Friday. Keep up with it. Got to keep myself accountable. That's why I'm doing this. And yeah, I hope you have a really, really fruitful trading week. That's it for today's analysis. I'm the Accountability Trader, and I'll see you soon.